we are talking about surviving the holidays, queer edition. If I stand further back here, I look much smaller than that.
Oh my God.
I'll stay beside her. No, now you look like a child. Oh, the tricks that we could pull. Anyways, so okay, so we were talking about surviving the holidays, and I know for a lot of people, especially a lot of people in the LGBTQIA plus community, surviving the holidays is a real thing. We have to possibly spend time with people who are transphobic or lesbian phobic or gay phobic or just anti everything, not them. So that's immediately puts a lot of stress on us. And it's something that, we kind of have to survive through instead of look forward to. And even if everything's amazing, the holidays are almost always a stressful time. uh, Driving, traveling, eating, all of this stuff, interacting with a whole bunch of people that we normally don't interact with, and that can be stressful even at the best of times. And so we get taken off of our routine. Instead of waking up at whatever time you wake up and go to work or go to the gym or do whatever you do, all of a sudden you're thrown into this very different, emotionally charged place. And even if it's good emotions, it's still a lot of stuff, right? I know personally, my parents were atheists, but we still celebrated Christmas growing up, and got presents and all that stuff. And of course, when you're a kid, it was fun, right? And then as I got older, Christmas kind of lost its meaning. I went from one party to the next, and New Year's Eve was the only thing I was looking forward to. And then had kids, and then it was about them. And then now, kind of lost its meaning in a lot of ways, for me personally. But now, amazingly, our anniversary of the day she became officially my girlfriend is also December 25th. So now I feel like I have a new reason to celebrate. Maybe you can speak to your experiences and all of that stuff, and people can stop listening to me jabber on forever.
So my experience with Christmas growing up was frantic, hectic. I came from a divorced family. I'd wake up in the morning, do Christmas with my mom. My mom would take me with her to her family. We'd do Christmas there. My dad would pick me up from there, take me to his family, and we'd do Christmas there. And finally, at the end of the night, we would do private Christmas with my dad's immediate family. So it was 4 Christmases in one day. And yes, it was great as a child, and you get all the presents. However, there was a lot of driving, a lot of stress, divorced parents. It wasn't pretty. I remember kicking, screaming, and crying, having to leave the different places. And then as I grew up and developed issues around food and exercise, Christmas became a very stressful time for me in that way, because it's going to be around so much food and be stressed about it. And I think a lot of people go into the holidays with this type of fear, because especially people, whether you're working on it or not, everyone has some sort of, fitness or body goals, right? And I always say to people, like, we're all a little fucked up about food in one way or another. So Christmas can be a really stressful time because we are exposed to mass amounts of food, expectations around food, and expectations around people. So I experienced this firsthand, being a fitness competitor and being really screwed up about food for a long time. And over the years, I figured out ways to not just survive the holidays in this regard, but actually make them enjoyable. Do you want to talk a little bit about how you approach it, or do you want me to talk about it?
About how I approach
Christmas
food
in general.
Oh, food has... See, I am the kind of personality that I have like an internal dialogue about food. I think a lot of us do. And so I used to do this thing where before I would go on vacation, I would pretty much starve myself. I would work out like 3 hours a day, and then I would get to, let's say, Mexico or whatever, and then I would just like blow it up. And so I used to do the same thing with Christmas. I would be dieting right before Christmas so that I could relax and let go and binge, in effect, which was very, it's interesting because, you can do like 3 weeks of really good work and then
Undo it all in a
undo
week.
it all in a week,
Yeah.
right? So I would come back out of the holidays and I would feel A, sluggish, and B, I would feel guilty, and all of these negative emotions about food and the holidays and all of that stuff. Like my mom, for example, like when we were younger, she would make like 5 different kinds of meat. Like, and then she would expect you to eat 17 things on the table, and like that just didn't work for me. And of course the guilt from them and the guilt from me and all of these things. And I had to take ownership of that for myself, and be like, I'm sorry, I'm not going to eat, I'm done, kind of thing, and kind of just let go of the ownership of other people's expectations on food. um
So, did I cut you off?
yeah, no, go ahead.
No. So we believe in sustainability, right? And with sustainability means balance, and it means not feeling restricted. I totally believe still in going into Christmas Day and not restricting myself, and I don't want you to do that either. However, you don't want to go in there with an all or nothing mentality. And what Victoria's saying, and what a lot of us do, is diet so hard before Christmas, and then we let go of our restrictions, but we go balls to the walls. And that is the problem, because we do that not only just for one day, but then it becomes Boxing Day, and then it becomes, a couple days after, and then it becomes the week of Christmas.
Yeah.
And then you wake up on January 2nd, and you're one of those people that get their gym membership January 2nd, and then go balls to walls in the gym. And then by that February happens, where are all those people that were there in January?
That's right.
Right?
It's a running joke in the gym, actually.
It is, exactly. So we want to help people we want to help you create habits that are sustainable, that you're not going to be one of those people that falls off track on February 1st. So just a few tips going into Christmas, I think that would be really beneficial for everyone, would be, number one, don't arrive to your dinner starving. You're going to get there and you're going to want to eat everything in sight, right?
Yeah.
Have a nice breakfast, have a good lunch. Don't think you're not going to eat all day and then just binge at dinner. That's the hugest tip that I can recommend. Number two is, when you fill your plate, eat your protein and your veggies first, and then have whatever else you want after. The thing with Christmas that I always find crazy and ridiculous is there's like, for one meal, there's like 5 different carb sources. Carbs are not bad. However, they're very easy to overconsume. You can have 2 buns on your plate, mashed potatoes that take half a plate, the stuffing, the squash. Like, there's 4 carbs right there, and it's all on your plate, right? And a lot of people, we all love this stuff, and you should. But don't fill up on that first, because you can overeat that so fast, and then you're going to feel like crap about yourself, right? So eat your protein, eat your vegetables, and then enjoy the rest after. And I always say, when it comes to like the desserts and the drinking, like, try to, like, quote unquote, pick your poison. Try everything. I know that Victoria likes this tip. Try everything. And then when you feel like you want to go back for a second round, just get a little bit of the things that you liked.
Yeah.
Again, don't feel like you have to fill your plate over and over again, or have pressure from your parents to take home the leftovers. You don't have to take home the leftovers. Yeah. The concept of, I don't want to waste food with this type of thing always boggles me, because I always think, well, it's a waste in the garbage or it's a waste on your ass. So what would you prefer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will give one tip about the mindset stuff. Like, so you're going in and you're going into a stressful environment. Even if it's good, it's still stressful. Even if the best of times, going into family situations and the Christmas time and the presents and all the hullabaloo of all of that stuff. Hullabaloo, I actually got that out right. All of that about the holidays, and the mindset is so key, because you're going in with expectations, and everyone else is going in with expectations, and all of those expectations are coming together, and there's a disconnect. There's going to be a disconnect invariably, and very likely there's going to be a big disconnect in people's expectations of what things are supposed to happen and how they're supposed to happen, and this and that, and all these people, and like every Aunt Jane and Uncle Bob are fighting, and their energy is permeating through the entire room, because you can't help but feel that anxiety from other people when they're fighting, right? And so going in with very minimal expectations, going in knowing that you have to take care of yourself. If you feel that there's a situation where it's not good for you, separate yourself, move away, don't engage. Like, take yourself out of the equation, because it's just like when you get hate messages. I get hate messages on Instagram or something. And if I engage, and I'm really good at engaging if I wanted to, the only person that ends up getting hurt is me. Because I now have responded with anger or whatever. I end up getting shadow banned or something stupid. And that other person, they want the engagement. They're actually looking for it. Very similarly for holidays, if you get somebody waiting for the engagement, take yourself out. Then you have the power and you have the control. And so much of the holidays is about expectations and not being met. And if you can take yourself out of those situations or go in with very little expectations, you can win the holidays. And I know it's so stressful for queer people to go to those holidays, to go to the family, to see the parents that might not be supportive or whatever. It's just, you have to take care of yourself. The holidays are not just for other people, they're for us as well. And we need to have that time for us to, stay at peace with ourselves and at peace with the loved ones that we want to be around. And maybe that's my biggest piece of advice for the holidays.
Yeah, I think real quickly before we finish up, just talk briefly about what you said to Alex about the control thing.
What about it? Whatever. Okay, so what
being in control of your decisions.
Oh, yes, this is so important. Okay, so people feel that they go into the holidays like they are just a leaf in the wind. The wind is pushing them all over the place, and your mom says this, you have to do this, and all of these things are expectations, but also about, people feel that sometimes they're out of control when they are in an environment like that, about food, about interacting with people that they don't necessarily like, all of these things. And I feel that, not as a cop-out, but it's kind of a way of existing outside of yourself. If you take control of the environment, and that can be something simple as planning your meals, planning your expectations of not having expectations, you know what I mean?
Having an exit plan to leave early.
Having an exit plan, like bringing a loved one, taking control of your destiny in this, even in this small way, can protect you from all of the negatives from a diet perspective, the negatives from like a personal safety perspective. And you're not a leaf in the wind when you go on holidays. You are most definitely someone who is in control if you choose to be in control. And so don't allow others to bully you. Don't allow yourself to be drawn in when you don't want to. Don't allow those things to happen just because they're happening on the outside.
You can say no.
Hey, wait a second. I'm my own person. I can tell you to go fuck yourself, or I can walk out the door, or I can whatever. But we exist in this paradigm of, especially around the holidays, of like, we have to do this and I have to do that. And I'm like, actually, no, you don't. For the most part. And maybe that's the best thing for the holidays. It's a very long video, but hope you enjoyed it. And
happy holidays.
Happy holidays.